March 12, 2026. This time, a Russian soldier is shot by a Ukrainian FPV drone during a bayonet charge. Ukraine UAS, Unit 4th Assault Battalion, targets a Russian soldier sitting in a chair inside a house in the direction of Zaliznichne using a fiber optic FPV drone. 3 Russian soldiers riding horses on the front lines became targets of Ukrainian FPV drones. The Russian soldiers on horseback panicked when faced with this sudden drone attack and did not know what to do. The fact that Russian soldiers are using horses instead of military vehicles on the front lines indicates that they are experiencing significant logistical problems. The next target of the Ukrainian FPV drone operator is another Russian soldier. Can you see how fast the drone is? You only have a few seconds to respond to such a fast drone. Here, the drone is rapidly approaching the target. You can see the soldier firing repeatedly. Keep a close eye on this next strike. An FPV drone is closing in fast on a Russian soldier, previously spotted moving solo across the front lines. As the drone makes its final approach, the soldier is looking the other way, completely oblivious to the danger. It's unclear what has his attention, but in a split second, he becomes a direct target from behind. Now, a Ukrainian FPV drone has locked onto a Russian military vehicle. You can see a number of soldiers crowded on top. They've spotted the drone and are trying to floor it, but they're just not fast enough. Watch the soldiers on the deck closely. You can see the pure panic set in. One of them even throws his rifle in a desperate last-ditch effort, but none of it matters. Despite the frantic escape attempt, the drone finds its mark. A Russian soldier has been spotted hiding among the ruins of these destroyed homes. The moment he realizes the drone is on him, he bolts for the doorway, desperate to get inside, but he doesn't make it. Just as he reaches the entrance, the drone catches up, and he's taken out before he can find any cover. Did you catch those 2 Russian soldiers hiding behind the tree? Having stepped out of their trenches, they've walked right into a trap. This prowling drone was lying in wait, and the moment they broke cover, they became an easy target. The 414th Magyar Birds, one of Ukraine's most elite drone units, is back on the hunt, this time tracking a Russian military vehicle. As the vehicle pushes toward its positions, the soldiers on board realize they're being targeted and start jumping off in a panic. Some even try to open fire to bring the drone down, but their efforts are useless. The FPV stays locked on, proving once again why this unit is so feared on the front lines. This Russian soldier riding a motorcycle is unable to escape the drone. The FPV drone is moving toward the wall of a destroyed building. Suddenly, 2 soldiers hiding behind the wall are detected, and the soldier becomes the direct target. 2 more soldiers in the same area were unable to escape the FPV drones. Russian soldiers are quite helpless against drones on the front lines. For Russian soldiers on the front lines, there is simply nowhere left to hide. The strikes you're seeing right now are the perfect example of that. Under constant pressure, soldiers are abandoning their trenches and moving into the open. But being on the move is just as lethal as staying put. Watch these drone strikes closely. Thanks to their incredible speed and maneuverability, these FPVs can track down and hit any target with surgical precision. Even though Russian troops are now dispersing and moving solo to avoid becoming a group target, it doesn't matter. Ukrainian forces are willing to deploy a dedicated drone for even a single soldier. No one is off the radar. The soldier had stopped to listen to the news without anyone knowing. A Ukrainian drone, flying dozens of meters above, dropped a bomb on the soldier. Russian soldiers are not only being targeted by FPV drone attacks. This method is frequently used on the front lines. In particular, unmanned aerial vehicles drop bombs on soldiers who are stationary. No soldier can survive these extremely powerful bombs. Look at the soldier standing motionless on the ground in an open field. When he saw the drone, he decided to remain motionless. Why do you think he reacted this way? The drone then hit the soldier. This Russian soldier was again unaware that he was being followed. The soldier being followed entered a container. He was using it as a shelter. An explosive-laden drone quickly entered the soldier's location and detonated. It was impossible for the soldier to survive such an explosion. The Donetsk region is under siege by Ukrainian drones. When winter came, Russian soldiers abandoned their trenches and moved into abandoned areas, turning them into shelter positions. However, as you can see, this is not enough to protect them from the drones. For a week, every location where Russian soldiers were present in the region was hit by drone attacks. Additionally, BMP-1 infantry carriers advancing toward their positions and soldiers aimlessly wandering around have also become targets for the drones. So why do you think Russian forces sent soldiers to the front as if aimlessly? Is this a tactic, or have these soldiers gone missing? A Russian logistics vehicle was hit by the Ukrainian War Falcons, part of Ukraine's 25th Airborne Brigade. Look at the explosion. All the ammunition in the vehicle detonated in the attack. A Ukrainian fiber optic FPV drone spotted a Russian Tu-S7 Pion artillery system inside a structure that appeared abandoned while flying over Kostiantynivka. The artillery system, which Russian forces have been using quite effectively on the front lines, was immediately struck by the drone. A group of Russian soldiers was spotted roaming around a small town in the Donetsk region. They had most likely been there for a long time and were using the area as a shelter and trench. They were tracked by drones all the way to their hiding place. They did not notice the drone following them. Multiple FPV drones had already been sent for the attack, and the attacks began. The drones quickly moved in, targeting the soldiers one by one. The Russian soldiers, panicking and unsure of what to do, tried to flee but were unable to do anything. Look at the last surviving soldier. Even though he tried to target the drone with his weapon at the last moment, it was to no avail. The Ukrainian Signum Battalion managed to infiltrate Russian positions and disabled a lot of military equipment. Look at the weapons that were targeted. These are artillery howitzers and rocket launchers. Leaving such important weapons defenseless in the most critical part of the front line is a big mistake. In a very short time, within just a few hours, FPV drones eliminated the artillery units positioned in the inner parts of the Lyman region. The barrels of the artillery pieces were specifically targeted. The reason for this is quite simple. The barrels are too long to be camouflaged. Moreover, an artillery unit with a damaged barrel becomes irreparable. Despite all camouflage efforts, FPV drone operators successfully neutralized more than 10 targets. Ukrainian forces spotted a Tu-S19 MSTA self-propelled howitzer, which is very rare on the front lines. Multiple drones immediately attacked this heavily armored self-propelled howitzer. One of the most effective weapons on the front lines is the easiest target for drones. This valuable howitzer is built on a T-80 tank chassis and uses a T-72 engine. Of course, destroying such a massive weapon was no easy task. 8 drones were used, each carrying powerful explosives. The critical question here is, why did Russian soldiers leave such a vehicle in a position where it could be easily detected and attacked without any defense? You now know how difficult it is to shoot down FPV drones, but it's not impossible. 2 Ukrainian soldiers managed to shoot down an FPV drone, albeit with difficulty. Ukrainian special forces intercepted Russian radio communications to pinpoint enemy positions in the Lyman sector. After confirming the coordinates through signal intelligence, they launched a direct raid on the trenches. The footage shows the team clearing the positions with grenades. While several soldiers were neutralized in the exchange, others chose to surrender. This engagement demonstrates that alongside drone operations, Ukrainian infantry continues to play a critical role in clearing the front lines. The war isn't just being fought on the ground, the battle for the skies is raging without a second's pause. In a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, Ukrainian FPV drones are now actively hunting down Russian drones. This has become a war of technological superiority. Whoever dominates the airspace above the front lines controls the momentum of the entire conflict. As you can see, these interceptor FPVs are spotting and neutralizing Russian drones in mid-air. It's not just strike drones either. Even high-value reconnaissance UAVs are being hunted down and taken out of the sky. The aerial advantage is shifting in real time. The era of drone-on-drone combat is officially here. Do you think we're witnessing a permanent shift in how air superiority is achieved? In various sectors around Pokrovsk, Ukrainian forces have launched a series of precision strikes against Russian military systems. Using advanced FPV drones, they successfully neutralized key targets, including critical radar installations. Even units attempting to dig in within the dense tree lines weren't safe. Armed with heavy payload drones, Ukrainian operators were able to penetrate the forest canopy and eliminate these positions in record time. It's a clear display of how these high-explosive drones are dismantling tactical defenses on the ground. Ukrainian forces continue their relentless drone attacks as winter draws to a close. Look at the multiple rocket launcher system left behind by Russian forces in a warehouse. They have left many such vehicles on the front lines as targets for drones. Russian soldiers have been forced to retreat from many areas. Ukrainian forces immediately began building new positions in these abandoned areas. Do you think Ukraine will be able to retake its territory? Or at what cost will it achieve this? Share your thoughts with us in the comments.